And a Pfizer vaccine cost around, $36 or $34. Then additional cost when it comes to you through a jab, and in case of the Covishield, which is the AstraZeneca vaccine, which has been administered in India, it is only just $3. So this is the thing actually. Pfizer and Moderna uses mRNA of the virus mRNA, and the AstraZeneca, the Oxford AstraZeneca vaccine, which is called the Covishield in India, it uses viral vector. They are like part of the virus. They are entering in your body. Now also people say that for a robust immune response, if you take a Covishield, which is AstraZeneca vaccine, first jab, and second jab of Pfizer, that is mRNA vaccine, then it also boosts your immune system much stronger. But in those cases, everybody having some side effects, like mild effects would be there. That means the vaccine is working as per medical fraternities. You will have chills, fever after the vaccine. You will have fatigue, and because it is introduced to your body and your immunity is learning from that. So this is the thing actually. And and India right now is in massive vaccine shortages. India's vaccine is already dried up. Their co-win portal, we have to register it over there. The portal is already just crashed. There are people right now so afraid because so much people are dying, and government should have put some restriction when the first wave was down during December and November, and since January it started. First, healthcare officials, all the healthcare officials, doctors, nurses, and front line workers, they are vaccinated with the Covishield, 2 jabs of Covishield. And Covishield, they give first jab, half of the dose is effective, then full dose in the second dose. Right now they are saying that after a gap of 3 weeks, first it was 2 weeks, 4 weeks of gap between 2 jabs, 2 vaccines. And right now they are saying that if you extend the period between 2 vaccines, like 6 weeks, then it also gives you much more a bigger immune response. So it might be linked with the companies cannot supply this much of vaccine, and also linked with the vaccine shortages. People are right now thinking of mixing up vaccines, like 2 different vaccines, first dose one and second dose another. Like I told you, the Pfizer is mRNA, it will be second dose, and first is Covishield. So if you take that within a gap of like 4 weeks, it is the natural gap is 4 weeks. So the thing is, my parents, they all taken it. I was skeptical very much. I was telling my father that you don't take it, please. Right now, they wouldn't have found the vaccine right now. So it is already dried up. So because he's above 60, he already gone to he has known like people and in the hospital, and he had contacts. So my maternal uncle is also in healthcare. He's a medical officer. So they taken it. The Covishield, they taken it. My father didn't experience any kind of complication. My grandmother has taken it, maternal grandmother, and my mother is also finally taken it. First jab she taken, and after 48 days, when she went back from Calcutta, they came to Calcutta for some eye surgery, and they stayed in here. Then they went back. Unfortunately, at that time, Calcutta was like, when they came, it was so much infection all of a sudden. Like everybody is getting infected. Anyone like your friend, he went to office and he got infected. And people are so afraid right now. They are wearing mask in home right now. When they are going to the terrace doing gardening, at that time also they are wearing mask. Oh, another thing is the black fungus actually thrives through the gardening, the soil. The soil, the black soil, the gardening soil, it also thrives from that as well. So there are a lot of theories. People think that a virus is airborne. Yes, it is as an aerosol, it is airborne, not airborne as measles or like chicken pox. But the thing is, people think that, what can you say? And people has to go out sometime. Like I stay in most secured environment. In my house, in my flat, in my apartment, I stock all the foods. If it is not necessary, then I don't go out. But at some point, you have to go out to buy your essential things. And the problem is already in India, a place like India, already millions of germs are going around. And once such a viral vector, like such a viral, such virus like infection happens in large scale, it will mutate, and it is dangerous right now. Like daily death count, if you say right now, still it is 4,000.
So is India still on a lockdown protocol, or?
No, not from the first lockdown. When first corona hit, it was from center. It was like pan-India. Right now, states will impose their lockdown. Mm-hmm. See, I mentioned you the farmers' protest, right, from Punjab. Farmers were protesting. There has been GDP. India's GDP has taken a nosedive, minus 23%. Can you contracted the GDP minus 23%? It was at least 4%, 5% growth, and 4%, 5% growth of GDP is nothing for a 1.4 billion people population. In case of America, if you have 1% of growth in GDP, it is a huge growth for you because you are a developed nation. No matter what, at least GDP, at least your corporation is earning or government is earning, but someone is getting rich. But in case of India, only few crony capital, 6, 7 families. This is the reason actually India is lagging behind because of the corruption. And if people say that Russia is an oligarchy, India is one of the most worst oligarchy. Because the maximum businessmen right now hold there are community-based businesses. In Western nations, why the Indians do better? Because they have the opportunity over there, because through networking, if you have the capability, there are people who will hand out, who will invest in you. But here it is all community based. If you are if you are a Marwadi, then they will have this family Marwadi business, and they will go through this, all this stealing and all those things. Another thing is Indian billionaires sheltering in abroad, they are stealing money, and almost Indian banks were failing before the COVID actually. There is when 2008 recession happened, it was a huge debate about why American government or treasury should bail out those banks. Now they are in hand. Those treasury secretaries like Ben Bernanke and all, and Alan Greenspan, all those, they were hand in hand, right? Right now they are positioned in highest. They are getting very good grants from those companies, those who they bailed out. But the thing is, those banks are so big, but those are private banks, right? But in case of 2008 financial crisis, why India was safe? Because India has public banks, like government-owned banks, like SBI, like what can you say, Bank of Baroda, like SBI used to be State Bank of Calcutta when the Britishers were here. It was the most successful bank. Then still it is right now State Bank of India. It is government, it is government-owned right now. Then there are a lot of other banks like PNB, the UBI. So their saving rates is very high, because a normal person in at least 2,000 rupees or 5,000 rupees, the same amount of interest they are getting. If you keep money in private bank, you have to maintain at least 20,000 rupees of minimum balance. In case of Citibank, it is 1 lakh rupees. So Citibank, even right now withdrawing maybe their retail operation. So the banks are failing already in here, because the few communities, those who controlling business from north, they taking loan black and blue and just diverting the loan money. They are not putting it in their operation as well, and they fleeing the country. Same happened with Adar Poonawalla. He was given the order of one of the biggest vaccination drive, but he cannot deliver. And he is all boasting about, how they get these good positions in US and in UN, all about boasting. A few communities, they will go over there, they have their own community, they will boast about we did this is the biggest economy I will do the biggest thing. And he became the member of GAVA, which is World Vaccination Board. But he cannot even, let's just say, he cannot even 18 million doses he cannot produce. And after taking the money, he went away to UK, and he is telling over there, they are threatening me, leaders are threatening me, I cannot, everything is on my shoulder. It is the tone, actually. I don't want my head chopped off. Who chops off head, actually? He is the one who taken money, he cannot deliver. So these are the different issues happening. Russia also sent some vaccines, Sputnik 5, it is called. One jab is also enough and sufficient, maybe. So 3 vaccines are available, at least August. Till August, Pfizer is not coming. Pfizer will be very much costly. And Joe Biden administration as well stopped actually raw material export at one point. And he was in, so much of criticism because of he stopped the export, because they need the materials right now to produce vaccine. So this is the thing right now, current scenario. And as you know, in Delhi, it's worst kind of management. In Delhi, in the national capital. In Kerala, there is a resurgence of lot of infection. And daily, it was 400,000 people were getting infected. Daily basis infection. I told you, right, when first we have spoken that at least 50% of the population will get the virus, one way or the other. But the thing is, daily infection in the second wave is so disastrous, and it could be contained. But the Indian government, they like the political parties, they did big rallies, opened up, election rallies. And the rally in USA or rally in India is quite different. It's like packed up in a what can you say? So infection spread like wildfire. And 4 lakh daily infection, it was since May 5. Right now it is 200,000. It was 400,000 at that time. Right now 250,000 or 290,000 daily. But the death rate has gone up. Death rate was daily 3,000. Right now it is 4,500. So let's just see what happens. And the third wave, if it is come, it will come to, from maybe there is a virus variant in Singapore, which right now it affects the children's, That's why Bharat Biotech right now also working on children's vaccine. It was through nasal they will put it. So these are the developments going on right now. And of course, economy has taken nosedive, and the farmer protest and everything. So these are the issues I wanted to share.
Well, I appreciate it so much, Avishek, and it has been very enlightening, especially, given that, India is in conflict with China. And I thank you so much for coming on the podcast and sharing with the audience and myself about these issues.
So another thing is the Chinese are very much successful in penetrating Indian economy, Indian market, because of Indian businessmen or Indian policymakers or leaders. They allowed it actually. See, now majority of the phone companies are owned by Chinese. Well, happened when the Chinese aggression in the border, when they killed our soldier. What happens is, it happens still. It happened with Pakistan as well, and especially right now with China. What happened is, whenever there is a conflict, everybody goes super hyper nationalistic and all. Then after some days, they forget everything. It's business as usual. One way these businessmen, they take money from the state fund and they ran away. Then these businessmen, they setting up factories in China, because see business. If you say the tech sector, suppose in USA, it is very much productive. They are really creating value. But here in India, you will find only only the southern companies, the IT companies did very well, and that is the IT revolution was the reason India's economy has grown up. India is in world stage. But the other facts is because of this crony